This is Who's Tripping, where we discuss who in college basketball is tripping. All right, this week, let me tell you what we got for you. Hank, the producer. When you hear me say the name Hank, that is the producer, people. Hank, what you got for me?
All right, first up, we got Richard Pitino calling out his dad. Check it out.
Just spent 30 minutes trying to explain to the real Patino, Rick Pitino, how to download Amazon Prime on his iPad. Confidence is sky high. That is that Xavier will get the sweep this year. Okay, first off, Hank, Rick Pitino is 73 years old. I am impressed that that man can even coach basketball, right? Especially in this new day and age of NIL where you have to, I guess you technically do not have to try to relate to your players. Because what does a 73-year-old man have to do to, what is he doing relating to an 18, 19-year-old? But nonetheless, he's 73 years old. I don't know. I don't know what this man does outside of basketball as far as like downloading things. He's not technologically savvy, clearly, right? But he knows basketball. The sweep will not happen. The young Richard Pitino is absolutely tripping right there. Oh well, let's go. What you got? What else you got for me?
That's the verdict. I agree. All right, next up, Mick Cronin's team, his UCLA Bruins, won their first game. Here's what he had to say afterwards. Take a listen.
Arrogance, lack of humility, don't want to defend, don't want to rebound, don't want to play defense. There's so many mistakes. I'd like to fire myself.
You know, leave it to Mick Cronin to go to a press conference and make a statement like this. Mick Cronin is a great basketball coach, no doubt about it. He knows what he's doing. But in press conferences, Hank, he is absolute gold. What was it last year that he literally went in a press conference and blamed his whole team and took no accountability, took no responsibility for anything, and just put all the blame on his team? He even threw his assistants under the bus. So leave it to Mick Cronin to make a crazy statement like this that he would fire himself. Nice to know, Mick. All right, cool. Next, what you got for
But
me?
wait, what was Mick tripping? It's
I
game
feel like Mick
one.
is. I feel like Mick is always tripping, right? I just feel like this is a constant thing we see with him. The man's a hell of a basketball coach, though. But he gets in press conferences. You just know you don't know what he is going to say on that microphone. So I'm not gonna say he's tripping. I would say that he might be. Nah, you're right. You're right. It's game one. He's tripping. He's tripping. Let's go to the next one.
I think he's going to be on this segment a lot too. All right, next up, TCU lost to the New Orleans Privateers, a school that I just learned existed. The score was 78-74. Here's what the Southland had to say about it.
Wait, wait a second. You didn't know the University of New Orleans had a team?
I thought that was like LSU or something.
That man say he thought. You know, Baton Rouge
No, I know
and
they're
New
different. I
Orleans
know
is
they're
is
different.
is two different. You know, it's like kind of like it's not far, but it's not like close.
I just didn't know. I didn't know there was a school in New Orleans. That I
All
guess
right,
I
we got
should
to
have
add
known.
we got to add Hank to this segment. That and number three is Hank is tripping right now. All right, so right here, TCU lost to New Orleans. First off, let's dissect this. TCU is absolutely tripping. This is one of those games, people, where a P5 pays a smaller school at least $100,000. We lost one of these bye games at Baylor. We lost to Texas Southern, which is probably on the same level. However, this is not a game that you should lose if you're TCU. So TCU is absolutely tripping. I expected a lot more from them, especially after the way they did Hank's Longhorns in that exhibition game. So I expected a lot more. TCU is tripping. Now for this tweet, can we pull up the tweet? Because I don't know who wrote this. And I don't know how I feel about this for many various reasons, but the tweet goes as follows: no limit, no problem. I like that line because that's shout out to Master P. Because if you didn't know, Master P, I want to say, is the general manager of University of New Orleans. He does something with the athletic department. I'm not 100% sure, but I want to say he's the general manager because, he's from New Orleans and that's his city. And he took on that school, right, as his own. So I like the first line. Now the second line is where I'm like, I don't know about this one. It says Master P and the Pioneers walked in your trap and took over your trap, shocking TCU in Fort Worth. Hank, for the people out there, please let the people know what a trap is.
Is it like a house?
Is it like a house? So I think in this reference we can say we can use it as a house context clues, but usually from some of the people that I grew up with, when we talk about a trap, we talking about a trap house. We talking about a place in which you do drugs. Talking about a place in which bad things happen into your trap house, right? So for them to literally use the phrase, "We walked in your trap and took over your trap." This is typically when two gangs, you walk into somebody's trap and you take it over. So now it becomes yours. Now, how does it become yours? There can be a myriad of ways in which you take over that trap. Now, I'm not going to get into that. But for those reasons, I'm not loving this. So I'm not going to say whoever wrote this tweet is tripping. I don't love the latter half of this tweet. They should have just kept it at the first, no limit, no problem, for sure. But the biggest people, the bigger trippers or whatever, is TCU, because you should have won the game. So this tweet didn't even get released. But shout out to the Southland Conference. That's a great conference. They have a lot of good things going on. I did some work with them. They're really good at what they do, and love the Commissioner Grant. He's really good at what he does too. So shout out to the Southland Conference. This tweet and TCU, you're tripping. You
You're
should have
being
never
too
lost
friendly
this.
right now, man. You gotta sell him out a little bit harder here.
No. I'm explaining to people what the trap lingo is. Like when we talk about what's the urban dictionary? Like
Yeah.
I literally became an urban dictionary for people that doesn't know what a trap is just now. So I just informed the people what a trap is. That's
And,
what I'm
and,
trying
and
to
I learned
explain
something
to
as
the.
well. And it doesn't, what you explain a trap as, it does not sound like what I imagine TCU to be. I've never been to that campus, but it doesn't sound very trap like. But I'm just saying you can't call out the tweet and then also be like, but the Southland Conference,
But
everyone's doing a
but
great job.
I wasn't necessarily calling out the tweet. I was saying that TCU is tripping more than the Southland Conference. I don't
I
think the
see.
Southland Conference is tripping for releasing this, because I get it. It kind of relates back to Master P. However, TCU was tripping because the tweet should have never ever existed. Because how do you let New Orleans walk in your trap and take over your
I see
trap?
now. I
You
see now.
shouldn't do that.
See, I've learned. And
You-
also, I've also learned that the school I was thinking of in New Orleans is Tulane. I didn't know there was any besides Tulane.
Oh, yeah,
That's my
yeah,
bad.
yeah. So
That's my
my
fault.
fun fact, my brother, shout out to McClure, my brother, he actually played at University of New Orleans. So that's the first time I was ever exposed to it.
God.
But, but, if TCU wins this game, there's no trap that's taken over. So therefore, in this specific instance, TCU was tripping.
All right, King. That's it for this segment. We're going to bring this back. We're going to be a little meaner next time, all right?
We see how Hank rolls. Hank wants me to throw the punches, but it's cool though, because I'm definitely gonna throw some this season with Who's Tripping. Until next time, your boy is out.